Good morning, students. As all of us we know, we are discussing the chapter Motions of the Earth. Now, before heading towards a new topic, we will take a quick recap of the portion we have covered in the previous video of our chapter. In the previous video, we have covered about the two types of motion, rotation and revolution, and effects of rotation. Now, let's discuss the topic revolution in detail. Besides rotating on its axis once in every 24 hours, Earth also moves around the Sun on a fixed path or orbit in an anticlockwise direction. Now, as you can see in the image, an orbit is a curved path taken by a planet or another object as it moves around another planet, star, moon, etc. This movement of the Earth around the Sun is called revolution. As you have already seen in the image, the orbit of the Earth is elliptical. Elliptical means when an object moves around another object in an oval-shaped path. It is known to be revolving in an elliptical orbit. It is because of the elliptical orbit, the distance between Earth and Sun keeps on changing throughout the year, as the Earth never stops spinning. The Earth revolves around the Sun from west to east. Now, moving further in the chapter, let's learn about the effects of revolution of the Earth. First point, it causes variation in the length of day and night. Now, variation in day and night doesn't mean day or night become longer. Instead, it means the Earth gets more light that day, we consider long day, and less the light, night becomes longer. As we experience, daytime is shorter in winter than in summer. This is because the Earth's imaginary axis isn't straight but tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees. As the Earth moves around the Sun during a year, the northern half of the Earth is tilted towards the Sun in the summer, making daytime longer than night. In winter, this is reverse. The Earth tilts away from the Sun and nighttime becomes longer. In the spring and autumn, the tilt is either towards or away from the Sun, but somewhere between. So day and night are more the same at these times of the year. Now, second point, it causes seasons. As we have learned, variation in the length of day and night takes place because of revolution of the Earth and because of the tilt of the Earth on its axis. Now, when days are shorter, there is less time for us to get heat from the Sun, so the weather is colder. This is why we get winter. When the days are long, there is more time for us to get heat from the Sun, so we get the summer days. In the southern hemisphere, the seasons are at opposite times to the northern hemisphere. When it is summer in northern hemisphere, it is winter in southern hemisphere. And when it is winter in northern hemisphere, it's summer in southern hemisphere. Because the equator is halfway between the north and south pole, there are always 12 hours of a day and 12 hours of night time in a day. There is very little difference between seasons at the equator. Now, third point, it causes disparity in the distribution of heat over the Earth. Now, disparity means a difference. The distribution of sun rays differs from place to place due to the spherical shape of the Earth. The equator and the region around it receives the direct rays of the Sun. The surface area is limited and the sun rays are concentrated. Therefore, the heat is intense and it is hotter in the tropics. Now, you can see in the image, above the equator, the portion is called Tropic of Cancer, and in the south side, it is called Tropic of Capricorn. As we move away from the equator, the sun's rays travel through a longer distance and get scattered. Hence, heat is less intense. Now, let's learn about seasons. Now, the Earth takes 365 and 1/4 days to complete one revolution around the Sun. 1/4 means 6 hours. We do not have the same weather throughout the year, and year is divided into 4 seasons. The 4 seasons are spring, summer, autumn and winter, and we experience rainy season also. This change of season is due to the following factors. Now, the rotation of the earth on its axis, revolution of earth around the sun, the tilting of axis of the earth. During the year, the season change depending on the amount of sunlight reaching the earth as it revolves around the sun. Now, northern summers. As we have already learned, when the northern hemisphere tilts towards the sun for a period of 6 months, it gets more sunlight and heat. Hence, it is summer in northern hemisphere, and since southern hemisphere at that time is tilted away from the sun, it is winter in the southern hemisphere. Both the side, just the opposite seasons are there. Now, in northern winter, when the northern hemisphere tilts away from the sun for a period of 6 months, it gets less heat and sunlight. So it is winter in northern hemisphere. And since the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun during that period of time, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. The hemisphere that is tilted towards the sun is warmer because the sunlight travels directly to the earth's surface and gets less scattered in the atmosphere. Now boys, make sure that you revise the topic. It's a very important topic about revolution, its effects, seasons, northern summer and northern winter. And you will get an assignment based on this video. So be prepared. Thank you.